Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns and welcome to the Breath of the Wild 80% Tournament 2022. It's lower bracket round 4. We're progressing nicely through the brackets, and today one more racer will go home. It's either going to be former champion Wolhaiksong or AlphaTZR. We're going to find out soon, and we're going to find out through amazing commentary from Lumina. Take it away. It's all yours.
Thank you, Trez. Yeah, this is as Trez said, it's a losers bracket round, I think it's round 5, maybe round 4, match. But these are two very, very high-level runners. I think we could have a very good run up on our hands here. A race, rather. Yeah, so Song has a sub-25. His personal best is a 24.46, which he got 3 months ago. And then Alpha has a 25.17, but that was 4 days ago. So based on form, I would say maybe Alpha's the favorite going into this, but you can never count Song out in these events. He's just very good at the video game. Alright. Cutscene. 60 seconds. Yeah, not too much to say. Both our runners should be running in French because it's fast. If they're not, then I'm going to make fun of them for it. I believe both runners will be full sending. I can't see either of these runners playing it massively safe in terms of their strats. Like, I don't think we'll see any Dragon Fangs or anything like that. I suspect we'll see both 3 ancient arrows, so yeah. All down to execution. And should have seedings, actually. I don't know who had better qualifiers. I have a feeling Alpha underperformed a bit in qualifiers. Yeah, we see both runners getting SOR. Getting the Sheikah Slate. As you do in every Breath of the Wild speedrun. And yeah, both are in European French, which is, yeah, the fastest, so no being made fun of today. I know I was wrong, actually. Alpha did well in the qualifiers and qualified with a 5th seed, which is, yeah, impressive. And then Song was 3rd seed, so yeah, literally this is like one of the highest seed matchups in the tournament as far as that goes. Good exits for both runners. Alpha has a slight lead on my screen. I'm guessing Song pressed the button late. I thought it was a slight desync between the two streams, because all the entire early section it was showing Alpha as being ahead. But yeah, both runs with a clean exit. I doubt we'll... no, we'll probably see backup food. Then again, no, they're taking very wide lines. Song might, given his line running to the tree, but Alpha there's no way. And Song does opt to get it. It does give you a lot of wiggle room, because there are a couple points in the run where you really can wish you had the backup food if you take damage. If something goes wrong in Crow's, but... or, yeah, in Castle if you touch Malice, it can really help you out. That's one of the things that's become more optimized through the years. Then again, these runners are doing amiibo, so there is the fish factor. So that's also an option for food, but yeah. Generally think having some backup food is always good. But at the end of the day, these are two very evenly matched runners, so small differences will matter. Unless there's a big difference, but hopefully not. Anyway, we see Alpha struggling a little bit with the pot movement. And also they're going to be less started, so this does give Song actually a pretty big lead. Needs to pull the Boko away. And this is really not ideal because he doesn't actually have the health to do the wind bomb anymore. So this is seriously bad. Because you can't scan the amiibo until you've completed your first shrine, he won't be able to get the backup food that way. It's a very high line there. So we're probably going to see casual bombs here. I think that's quicker than blowing yourself up for hearts. But yeah, very unfortunate for Alpha. And again, this is a circumstance where having that backup food would have actually saved maybe 20 seconds, but it's like, you don't see this very often in runs, so I don't blame Alpha for not going for it. The ski's also messed up because of the incident with the Bokoblin. He's going to have to reset it, and there's no way that's getting him into... You could ESC, but then you wouldn't have ski for the elevator clip, and skieless elevator clip is awful. Unfortunately, equipping shield tiny bit too late there. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, this is a huge lead for Song now. I think it's going over a minute at this point. And Alpha skew, that will do, yeah. Song drops a game of wind bomb, which is something going the other way, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It's a big hill to climb, and at this point, a minute gap in these sort of races is huge, and Alpha is already pretty much relying on some mistakes from Song to close the gap. I believe that was a 417 status from Song, which isn't massively quick. Like, usually you see these top runners getting at least 405s or lower, maybe 410s or lower, but the dropped gamer wind bomb cost quite a lot of time there. And obviously the fact that he seemed to be a couple seconds behind at the start. Outside of that, I didn't really see any major mistakes from Song. And we do see in the end, Alpha does have to opt for the casual movement, if you will. Slightly exaggerated casual movement. And yeah, we'll know shortly how big the gap actually is. It was 417 for Song, and it looks to be just over. Yeah, about 522 for Alpha. Or 523 rather. That is an over a minute lead now. We see Song scanning his amiibos. This can be a pretty big equalizer depending on... Oh, Song has stopped moving. He's whistling. Not sure what's happened there. Not good fish. I would go so far to say those are bad fish. We do see a Porgy now. You need a Porgy and a carp at minimum, and we do see a carp there. 2 carps there. Okay, so that will do. Oh, 3 carps. Yeah, that's really good because now you don't have to get the rush room. Unfortunately, it is third try, so that will lose Song maybe 10 seconds plus whatever happened when he stopped moving. So that's a little bit of a swing the other way. Let's see how Alpha's scans go though. We will most likely see them here, but to be fair, in races it really doesn't matter where you scan. In standard attempts, people tend to scan early for the sake of getting the RNG reset points as early as possible, but it doesn't actually lose you any time to do it later. Anyway, we see well, we accidentally picks up a Volt Fish, but to be fair, that's not awful. He doesn't actually need to scan the second amiibo, but he would have to grab the Razor Streaming Castle. So we do see he opts to scan a second, doesn't get anything... Wait, no. No, he doesn't get anything he needs, but he needed more filler fish, right? Yeah, we'll have to see Alpha grab the backup Razor Stream from the crate when we get into the castle. Meanwhile, Song's cruising along. It was a clean Magnesis clip, and yeah, maintaining his lead after the issues with the fish. I suspect we'll see Canal wind bomb from both our runners. No, Song opts to skip it actually, which to be fair, yeah, in a race, that's something that a lot of top runners lose their runs to when they're doing actual attempts. So Long opts to play it safe. I don't know if he's watching the stream or not, but I personally like to play it fairly safe and not watch the stream. And that's a 7:49 Magnesis time. We'll see if Alpha goes for the wind bomb. It's one of the ways he can gain a bit of time to Song, but yeah, it depends what he's playing as his win condition now. Doesn't opt to go for it, so the gap will stay the same. Oh wait, no, he's going for the, yeah, okay. He's going for the slightly safer wind bomb. So that should close the gap a little. And I think, yeah, Alpha will need to keep trying to find these time saves where possible if he wants to catch up to Song in this race. Slightly dodgy BLSS from Song, actually, and he ends up colliding with a tree. In order to knock a tree down, you want to switch to square bomb and not drop your round bomb, because you can just jump in the air and get the bottom to drop. Saves you like 3 seconds to what Song did, but this isn't too bad as well. He did have it there, but he opted not to take the angle. These trees are really finicky because they are slightly high, and you have to get them at like specific angles to save it. This will now work for Song, but yeah, this is actually pretty massively closed the gap. I think there's maybe 20 seconds in it. Unfortunate for Song there as well, hitting the hill with too low of a velocity. So he used to run the last bit, but that's not the biggest deal. This is actually really close now, though. Very unfortunate for Song, but yeah, bad exit out of the uphill did that. Clips in at 10:50 or 9:50, I guess we're going. Yeah. And then that's 10:01, so yeah, literally 11 seconds in it now. I suspect we'll see both runners leave Wimbledon in here, just because it saves so much time, and it's a lot safer than the Canal or the Magnesis ones. Why are you like this? Yeah, we see Song lining up the wind bomb. The key to this one is getting a very early... Ooh, that could have gone poorly. He does hit the torch, but doesn't bounce backwards. But yeah, the key is to get a very early first bomb timing. If it's any bit too late, you'll get a very scuffed wind bomb, and you'll probably just flop a lot of the time. Both of those wind bombs were incredibly close to just rolling off the edge, but thankfully both our runners make it through. And yeah, really close. I was watching back the VOD for yesterday's run, and I felt bad for the poor commentators having to deal with you. You damn troll. You see Song clearing his ski there with a little shield equipped and unequipped during that. That's a little optimization, because there's now a better time really to clear it after clipping into stasis than doing it when you're on the boulder ride. I didn't see if Alpha cleared it, I assume you would, that's just a standard strat. Very true, Trez. That was a weird ski swap for Alpha. I'm curious how it's going to work. That ski looks okay, actually. That will have done shield damage, but it really doesn't matter in any percent. The shield is not used that much. Either it gets hit by a laser and it breaks, or you get the parry and it doesn't break. Yeah, the lead stays... I think it's opened up to about 15 seconds now. Maybe not even, but yeah. Song maintaining a steady lead for now, but again, this is now completely open, this race. It could go either way. Very nice bomb angle from Song there. If you can get the bounce off of the lower wall, then you can land, yeah, in the lower bit there. And that will save you maybe 2 or 3 seconds, which in these races really matters, and we see it from Alpha as well. I'm curious what these plat times will be, because both these runners obviously had one split which went really poorly for them. I suspect it'll be mid-14s, by the looks of it. Even slightly higher.
Hey.
As we see both of them prepare their slide to the Temple of Time. There's a nice little optimization you see from Song there, where there was 2 things, which actually, yeah, Alpha doesn't do, so this is something that will save Song maybe 2 seconds, maybe 3, which again can really matter. Also, the no look is really cool. But so there were 2 things. When Song did the first you pick up the bow and the bomb at the same time, then you jump and press B, that'll equip your shield in the air. Song did that whilst jumping towards the spot where you want to slide from, whilst Alpha did it in place. So yeah, moving whilst you're doing it's always going to save time. And then also he didn't turn his camera when he did the slide, so you can immediately start wiggling, whilst Alpha had to turn his camera then start wiggling. Like to face back towards where you need to go. Which technically you don't need to do if you know the angle of your wiggles. Interestingly, we see Song dropping down. Oh yeah, it's that was very close on the Boko bat. But yeah, this is an amiibo speedrun, so you don't need as much height as you do for no amiibo. So this is actually just the standard spot. We do see Alpha going for a slightly different one. Opts to do it on the stairs. Has a little bit of trouble but gets it going after a couple seconds. Yeah, we see Song looking really high up, looking down now to sort of correct his angle a bit. But yeah, looking up could really help reduce the number of world blades. Yeah, both our runners heading straight to castle. This is probably the worst RNG point in 80% now, except maybe the amiibos. That is a really cool bounce, I didn't know it was a thing. You can just slide along that wall there. This gate. And we do see Song getting unlucky with it. That's a cool setup for the shield jump there. Actually, I haven't seen that one. The ski looks like it will work. Misses the frame, unfortunately, twice in a row. Gets it this time. But with that will go for a lead if he gets unloaded gate. And indeed, we do see that. Depending on how quickly Song can clip back in bounds, we could see 10-second lead for Alpha, I would guess. But then again, Alpha has to get the rush room, or the razor room rather, which will make a slight difference in the scale of time. Runners now do this little headshot on the Moblin just because it makes this movement a lot easier. Song does run out of stamina, which can be quite dubious, but thankfully he gets a good enough landing. Because basically if you do the headshot, then any sound you do won't alert the Moblin until it's done that little alarm animation. Yeah, so Song realizing he doesn't need the razor shroom, and with that we are maybe 5 seconds apart right now. I was gonna say, I had like a feeling in my head that was gonna be loaded. I didn't know why. I guess it's happened a lot for Song. Doesn't get the sneak strike prompt straight away as well, which loses you maybe a second. And again, this will come down to optimizations in the boss fight, so any... Oh, actually, Alpha going for a 6 ancient arrow route. That actually completely changes the dynamic of this race. So this means, yeah, Song will be maybe 20 seconds ahead going to endgame if he can get this movement cleanly. But he will have a slightly harder endgame. Does Alpha do 6 ancient... Does anyone know? Does Alpha do 6 ancient arrow in their PB? Or is it just a race strat for them? Very nice wind bomb up either way. But yeah, we do see Song now as a slight lead. Honestly, slightly less than I thought it would be. But... Ooh, that's unfortunate for Alpha. He has to... yeah. My personal backup is just to want to let the mob in here. But that's really unfortunate. That's maybe another 30 seconds lost. Opts to save. I don't know why he's reloaded. You just have to literally crouch there, and the moblin will lose focus on you. But opts to reload. But yeah, this is actually a pretty huge lead for Song. Obviously, there's always the endgame factor, and more runs die probably here. In races anyway, than most other places. But we see a clean Windblight skip, and that's a good start for Song. Nice free hits at the start. Song wants to go for double hits rather than triples, which again, no reason really not to, because it means you can start your spin slightly quicker. And when we do see Alpha preparing the wind bomb. Over to Sanctum. It's a new wind bomb. Well, I say new. New as in I didn't see it before this tournament. Interesting setup there. I think I saw this from someone. Can't remember who did it. I'd assume it's slightly quicker, but it does look a bit more haphazard. Song with a nice set of headshots, and that's just as clean as a water blade as you will see. Aside from the double hits instead of triples, but yeah. Very clean. And those are very good hits for Alpha as well. Yeah, we do see the Song missing one hit with the Royal Guard's Claymore, but gets that hit after. As long as you slam after the third hit, even if you missed a bonus hit, you'll still be able to get that hit because you will still collapse the fiery boy. Alright, Song will be hoping for a good Firelight RNG here. The setup's okay. Not great double hits, but he gets it on the last slam hit. And with that, we're into Thunderblight. Meanwhile, we see Alpha finishing up second phase of Waterblight. He gets the headshot very nicely. 2 more headshots will finish that. So I'm getting the nice bonus. Double hit there. One less hit required at the end for the extra duality now. Alpha will have to be a bit careful going for that bonus hit. I think it's okay if you hit the crate, but if you hit the crate plus one more thing, then you actually can't afford to go for that last double hit on Thunderblight, because your Claymore will break before you get to throw it. Then you have to just throw boomerangs, but that will lose you a few seconds. But yeah, I think it'll be okay. Those are very nice double hits at the end for Song as well, as we see him move on to Calamity. Double hits looking good for Alpha. Ooh, loses a couple at the end there, but thankfully just as for damage. Very nice flurry from Song. Those attacks are historically very hard to get the flurry on. It's all about where Link's positioned, as well as the timing. But yeah, gets it well. And these headshots need to be clean. Does miss one there. I think he might have missed another. An amazing for Song. Very nice laser parry though. I wonder if he'll need one more instance of damage. Gets all 6 hits with the spin. I think he'll need to put in a bit of damage. No, he had one more arrow. Okay. In which case, phase 2 we should get either attack or laser. As long as Song gets the laser parry, this should be smooth sailing. However, sometimes that's easier said than done. To reduce it. That is confidence. That was a very quick, like, slow down cancel. Lots of double hits there. That was one off spray king. It doesn't matter if the the edge drug breaks on the slam. But yeah, if he hadn't done the extra hit with the claymore, that would have actually broken on the slam because of the sheer amount of hits he got there. Very impressive. And yeah, we'll just see Song cleaning up. And see the first to lose now. Some sort of consolidation for Alpha, but Song didn't make a mistake, so at the end of the day, the mistakes in Zelda's study weren't too punishing. Or Zelda's room, I forget which one's which. Yeah, we see a nice phase 1 there. 6-inch Taro. Calamity routing is obviously a lot simpler. But yeah, gets through nicely. Oh my god. Was he standing too close and got hit by the laser parry? That is unfortunate. I didn't notice he was standing very close, but it looks like he got the laser parry. The laser hit Calam, and then the explosion radius hit him. Either way, that's his race very set in stone. Unless Song dies to Calam Dark Beast 4 times. Which I cannot see happening. You got, yeah, that's what I thought. It's unfortunate, but of all the runs to have that happen, this is probably the best one. Because Song's kind of been on a blistering pace other than that Magnesis split. Oh, okay, is that a thing that consistently damaged you once then? Very early shots there by Song. Yeah, this will be a high 26-minute time, which is very solid for a race. Maybe low 27. It'll be close between the two. I think it's 26 there. Yeah. There were mistakes in there, and the series is just everyone. That was a nice shot. I like watching good derbies. And we see Song coming up for his final shot. Looks like a 26-49. I was cheating a bit there. I'd already seen he'd finished in the the race room. I knew his time, but still, very solid race 1. We're gonna find out now if we're gonna have a break or if we're gonna go straight into the next one. It's looking like we're gonna go straight in. We'll see what the runners say. Alright, we're going to be going straight into the next. The time has already started. At least in the race room, so it'll be starting for us in about 20 seconds. Need to refresh my restream link. There we go, runs are back up for me. Yeah. Race number 2. I don't have much to say in the intro again because there's not really much to say. I think talking about the whole last. Sorry.
Well then, yeah.
Oh. What happened here?
I said they started the second I said, "Give me a second." And
oh, okay.
And someone was like, okay, I'm gonna restart." And
right, I see. I didn't realize it auto started.
All right, let's do this again. Nice. All right. Shit. This one. All right. Yeah. Quickly gonna restart once more.
All good.
All right. Refresh the players. And ready. All right, now the race actually starts.
Nice. All right, yeah, we see the timer now on stream. And game 2. Yeah, so I think the main takeaways from game 1 is Alpha needs to go for a better start because he was playing from behind for most of that race. There's a couple mistakes, especially with the Boko in the Temple of Time that really slowed him down. So be able to go for a better start. He did manage to catch up with Song, but yeah, the mistakes in the study as well, also letting him down. But he kept pace right until the boss fights, which is impressive, and I think he has the pace to take these races. Yeah, intro cutscene again. That's what it feels like running this game. I say as if I actively run it at the moment. Yeah, runs like more in sync this time. I don't know how the song last time. I think he just started a couple seconds late. Same this time. Then again, for me it's showing as Alpha moving at 105 and Song showing at 107. If anything, I guess Alpha's is just showing a bit early, because that should be a 107 time, unless he got some insane loads.
Prends cette tablette, Sheikah. Elle te montrera la voie après ton long sommeil.
Lucas late, still in French. None of the runners have decided to handicap themselves. You always love to see that. Yeah. Let's see how this race starts. This will work with. See Alpha hopping up first. Not quite getting it as quickly as he'd like, but it's still fine. I thought that failed, to be honest, but it didn't, so yeah, that's all good. Very synchronized now between our two runners there. And yeah, I hope we can get another race that ends up as close as race 1 was, because that's always good as a spectator spectacle. But yeah, let's see what these two runners can pull out. I wonder if we'll see any changes in the routing for our runners. I think Alpha's looks like he's going to get the peppers this time, which yeah, I think is a sensible choice. This gives you a bit of wiggle room, especially on this split. Yeah, fine starts for both runners. They both have 3 peppers to work with. We do see them stopping in slightly different spots for their slides. I think Alpha's in a slightly better spot in terms of the hill depth, but there might be a spot where Song is that will give him a good slide. I just worry that Sean's shield slide's going to be a bit slow. He actually opts to run for a second before he slides, which, yeah, compensates for it. That was quite painful, Alpha sliding down the wall there. Anyway, very nice clip for Song, Alpha not far behind, and yeah. You can unmute Song stream. I'm sat here in weird silence on my end. There we go. Alpha getting slightly better loads there actually gets him slightly ahead. And a very nice clip from both runners. There's really not been any mistakes so far. Just like load differences really, it's all that's made a difference so far. And Song having a slightly cleaner clip is the only like major thing. In which case, the gamer win bomb coming up will be a chance one of runners to pull ahead if they can pull it off cleanly. Then again, they could both pull it off cleanly. But you never know with gamer win bomb. It's one of the things runners practice the most. Just because it's such a good time save, but it's so early in the run, you really don't want to be failing it at all. I feel like most time I see people practicing before a race, they'll just be doing gamer win bombs on repeat. Unfortunately, we do see Alpha dropping it. Oh, we see them both dropping it. Song opting to eat. Might even need to eat again here. Yeah, he did. Good save by Song there. He would have died if he hadn't eaten that pepper right then. Unfortunate for both runners, but they do make it through the shrine. Alpha maintaining a slight lead he had going in. Yeah, still neck and neck. There was a chance for a runner to pull ahead, but the win bomb's not quite working in either of their favour. I suspect we'll see some separation with the fish though, because it would be very rare that people get the exact same amount of fish RNG, even if they get good RNG, like the positions where the fish spawn, how clumped they are with other fish can really save you a second or two as well, which will help whichever runner that works in the favour of. First, we got a match through this text. How's their mashing speeds? Surprisingly, pretty quick. Mashing in Breath of the Wild's a bit sad because you have to like mash twice. Once to get the text to go to the end and then once for it to actually go off your screen when you have the error at the bottom. I think Alpha's was actually slightly better there. I'm not sure though. But yeah, Amiibo scans. Who is feeling lucky? We see a Porgy immediately for Alpha, which is always good. I think I see 2 carps a song. I see 3 carps a song, so he'll be really happy with that. And then gets a bass. You need 2 basses filler. Alpha, 1 more is like a safety. I think that does work slightly in Song's favour, as we do see him pull ahead, but I think also I didn't quite see the fish. But I think Alpha needs... Ooh, he's got to be careful not to hit the load barrier here. He's staring back towards Plateau. If you get the out of bounds thing here, I think this one pings you back to Temple of Time, which would be pretty catastrophic. But yeah, that's unfortunate for Alpha. But we do see Song pulling ahead with that, and I think he'll save a little bit more time in Castle again, not having to get the Razor Shroom. Very nice clip. From both of our runners, to be honest. But yeah, we see a slight shift, but again, a few seconds in it. And as we saw last run, these runs can really swing one way or the other. Chance for Alpha to pull back ahead if he does for the wind bomb and Song doesn't. I don't know exactly how much time the turn wind bomb saves, the one from above. I guess this might be a good chance to find out. We saw Song with a 6-second lead, leaving the cutscene. We'll see where it ends up. Delayed detonation, so you get a nice little angle. Good landing spot as well. So that saved at least 4 seconds though. If you land slightly further right, you might be able to save a bit more. Yeah, again, both runners not really putting a foot wrong so far. This split is where we saw Song have some issues last time, though. So I think, yeah, this was probably the one major thing that went wrong for him last run. We'll see if he can get a cleaner slide. I'm sure he can. He's done it many times. Getting a good initial angle on the slide as well is very important. So, yeah, so I'm getting a decent one there. Alpha getting a slightly better one. The direction you walk into that wall and the bit you get can mean you can get like a slightly better ping in the right direction. I'm worried Alpha's going to clip the wall here. Oh, that's actually a very tight line. Fair play. Just dodges a tree. Both our runners having very nice lines there. And yeah, still about 2 seconds in it. Opting for 2 different strats. Alpha despawning the bomb while Song detonates it. The bomb should pretty much always be back if you go for a detonation strat, but some runners prefer either way. I don't think it makes much of a difference in time. Because with the despawn strat, you can just pick it up and you can land near a tree. So yeah, it's literally just down to comfort. There might be a slight optimal one, but it's not a massive difference. Yeah, with that we do see Alpha pulling slightly ahead. Both of our runners with slightly dubious wind bombs in here last time, and we'll see if anyone can get one which lands against the edge of the... I don't know what to call it. The ending. The staircase, I guess. Both our runners clearing their skew with a quick... not skew, the ragdoll glitch with a quick fix. Slightly left angle, that's actually, yeah, too far left. Alpha will not die here because you don't take damage if you already take a damage from the impact whilst ragdolling. You will see one of his peppers if he wants to go for it again. He actually opts to run the rest of the shrine. This is a tight line, I have to say. I think he... oh, that was scary. Good reaction to save himself after missing the first A press. And a nice jump across, but again, that's a lead for Song. And a lead for Song is not what you want to see. Be hard to make that gap up. But these are both high quality runners, they're very capable of making these time saves. Nice jump for Song again. He'll jump there. I haven't noticed people do that before. I guess that saves you a bit of walking on the snow time. Not a great initial angle for Song as well. Back down to these small time saves, which Alpha will be helping for. Doesn't get the arrow, so we'll need to re-grab his arrow in Zelda's bedroom. Struggling with the very nice angle there. Yeah, struggling a little bit with the Vilisa setup. Song will lose his skew with that. He needs to clear it, which he does there with a very cool backflip. Sure there's like a skateboard term for that. But that will actually close the gap a bit. I don't know what Song's backup food situation's like. He actually doesn't need it because he gets in with 1.5 hearts. But yeah, if you take one more tick there and you're not able to eat, you're in trouble. Gonna work out how long he's in it. You do see a bit of a gap close because of Song's issues with the ESC. Very nice wind bomb again. Does take a tick of damage, but it's very rare that you'll take 2 if you get the low angle bouncer. The only time you'll really take more is if you land all the way up and then roll back down to the low, but that can do like 1.5 if you're unlucky. Yeah, 9 seconds in it right now.
Hey.
Bear in mind, Song will save time with his route, as long as Alpha doesn't switch to French Towers, and also Alpha does need to grab the Razor Shroom, I'm pretty sure. I didn't see exactly what fish he had, but it looked like 1 Poggy, 1 Cup. We do see Song actually dropping the setup there, not getting the right timing on the pause press. If the bomb's still above the head, then it means he pressed pause before he pressed B. You're trying to get it a frame after. I think you can be up to 3 frames after, but yeah. Song, very nice BLSS. I'm so scared with people who, like, they keep their camera angled up rather than looking at the Temple of Time. I fear no man. With that thing. Anyway, slightly quicker plats from our runners this time. Yeah, easy to have a minimum line. Yeah, I heard about how to do it, but it's still, like, I haven't learnt the lineup, so I just see people do it and it freaks me out. Yeah, Song once again with a slight lead going off a plateau. Hopefully you won't have issues with the Coblin. It was closer than you would have liked last time. It's a bit close this time, but it should be fine. Yeah, way safer this time actually. Yeah, both are runs setting up the slides. And again, world loads will be a factor here. That's not a great initial launch angle for Alpha as well actually, which will hurt his time slightly. Yeah, both our runners coming in. I feel like Song's had worse world loads, because Alpha is really close now. I wonder if we'll see any issues with the gate again. That was like one thing that went really wrong for Song last time. As well, like Alpha get ahead in castle. Either way, they have now caught up. Both runners knowing where the gap is. Just kind of bare minimum in. I love runs at this point, but still. It's a little scary for Song, to be honest. Just gotta make sure he doesn't make contact with the Moblin. I think he's okay. Yeah, because of the time he had to spend going, like, because his BLSS made him land above the gate, he had to go, like, round and down. It's like, castle was, like, longer to load. We do actually see both runners going for the Eraser Shroom, so I guess Song didn't quite have as good of RNG as I thought he did. Or he wants to get a slightly safer attack up duration. Song got loaded gate in the first race. He just has slightly worse world loads this run. And also a slightly dodgy VLSS landing spot, where he landed like above the gate. So that gave Alpha a couple seconds back on him. Very nice run there from Song. Getting up pretty much as soon as you can. Alpha having issues actually, I didn't see what happened. But the mob has taken damage, which makes me assume the sneak strike didn't work and you just slapped it. Waiting for the aggro to go away now. This is one of the ones I don't really know how to back up. I think once that Moblin stops looking around for him, he'll be okay. Unfortunately, he makes some noise there, so this is actually getting quite messy for Alpha. I think he should be okay now, once that that was Alpha, sorry. Walks up, and yeah, that should be fine. He is now down 2 hits on his Claymore, so as I was mentioning earlier, I don't think he can afford to go for the double hits on the second set of hits on Thunderblight Phase 1. We'll see what ends up happening there. Because you lose the throw if you do that. Which means you have to throw a boomerang, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. Because you need to get a throw end to get the to get Thunderblight to draw his shield after the boomerang hits Phase 2, or else he'll just not draw a shield and fly up. But yeah, I don't know what happens if the weapon breaks from a swing. I don't know if that will lead to the same situation. Either way, huge lead for Song going into boss fights. At this point, Alpha needs a mistake from Song to win. And yeah, like we said before, because he didn't get the boulder surf arrow back, he's going to have to grab this arrow here on the floor. There's also one more backup arrow in a box here if it's needed, but most of the time you don't want it because it's a bit out of the way, and it's also an elemental arrow, so it'll lose you another 5 seconds. Song dropping the Windblight skip. I don't think he's saved, so he could actually be other side of a bridge. Indeed he is, so that's actually a lead for Alpha now. And with the 6 Ancient Tower out, I'd say there will be a slight... Ooh, that's really bad for Song. He needs to reload. Unless... No, where is he? Yeah, okay, no, he should be alright. He needs to detonate that bomb sooner rather than later as well. This will be at least 6 seconds when he detonates it. Which, to be fair, I don't think we'll hold him back much. That's an interesting setup from Alpha. I saw it on Twitter. Ooh, someone's having issues with these wind ones right now. Just like that, we do see Alpha with a pretty sizable lead. And getting the Windblight skip first try will put him sizably ahead. So I'm going very quickly with that setup there. Only a couple initial hits there. I think he'll be okay still. We'll see how Song goes. Yeah, those are quick hits, that should be fine. Some menuing stuff there from Alpha, just to sort of save a bit of menuing later. 3 hits and a slam here. Headshot. Yeah, very clean water bite. I think that's about a 30-second lead right now. Gets a double hit there. I don't think you want that. Especially with... I'm worried about his claymore duration, actually. He's probably going to do a couple of boomerang throws to finish off Thunder Blight. We'll see how that works out, but I think he's going to have to do some sort of improvisation in Thunder Blight Phase 1. Not getting double hits either, which is unfortunate. He's 2 hits down. He gets him there. That will close the gap a little bit. Dropping the fire by 1 cycle is always a bit of a time loss. The time it takes him to move and then respawn. Yeah, I'm curious what Alpha does here. Yeah, so he does actually not do a spin hit, recognizing the issue, and he does need a boomerang throw to end the phase. And yeah, that's all good then. He backs that up pretty well. I don't think he was quite aware that he wouldn't die from the throw, but yeah, that's fine. The boomerang throw works the same as the claymore throw for killing Phase 1 Thunderblight, and we'll still get the right minute for Phase 2. Song getting the extra double hit, which again will save an extra duality hit. Going slightly quicker. Phase 2 as well, but yeah. Ooh, Alpha having some issues with those last double hits, but does get free. And he's got a comfortable lead. It's just about holding it together with this Calamity. Opts for the Ancient Arrows at the start, which is pretty standard for 6 Ancient Arrow routing. You'll take his headshots, wait for a laser, and then finish it with the Claymore of the Royal Guard variety. And he's keeping a good distance, so we'll see a laser now. I don't think that last headshot happened, but the... Yeah, I don't think the last shot was a headshot with the bow break, but going for the flurry means that that's not really an issue. Flurry makes his routing a lot safer, and I think this throw will kill. Yeah. So we won't get a wall cannon in Phase 2, provided the laser parry goes well, and he does get an instant laser. Has the health this time to not worry about the explosion damage. And yeah. Ooh, and we see Song dropping a laser parry. By the looks of it. I didn't actually see it happen, but I've seen that death screen before. And with that, Alpha just needs to complete the stun lock, and race number 2 will be his. Song recognizing the potential for Alpha to drop it. Opts to continue running. This is a sign usually that... I know he's softed. Ignore me. Yeah. Probably aware that Alpha was already finished it. We're about to finish with the Calamity fight. Yeah. Barring, again, 4 Calamity deaths. This race is over. Alpha does still have to finish the run though, to get the win, which we should see happen. Fortunately, both our runners having a death, 1 in each race in Calamity, but yeah. That's what race 3 is for. This is looking like a 26-minute time for Alpha, which again, very solid. Did have some issues during the run, especially with Atlas Alphas. I need to start taking notes for these, dude. I'm not going to remember all of this if we have interviews at the end. But yeah, the issues with Atlas Alphas I think was the biggest thing this run. Oh, and also the issues in stasis with the stasis wind bomb. So to get a 26 in spite of that, impressive. Ooh, missing a shot there. Shouldn't matter. And yeah, we see Alpha coming up on the final shot here.
Link, regarde, sur sa tête.
And yeah, it will be a 28.08. Which is, yeah, 26.53 leaderboard time. Very solid speedrun. And yeah, game 3 to decide who makes it into the top 8. The fact that this is a losers side match is insane. Like losers top 12 match. I didn't see who these two got upset by in their brackets to get knocked down. You know. Yes, Alpha. Wait, I'm slightly confused. Let me double check this. Okay, never mind. Alpha is performing to seed, so Alpha is expected to be here. And Song was upset by Roko, who is actually on a bit of a tear through the upper bracket right now. Guaranteed top 6 finish at least. And that was in the best of 1 as well, so that's when a lot of the upsets will happen in these tournament races. $30 and we will take it away with race 3. I don't know if we'll see any more adjustments. I think both runners will just try and keep doing what they're doing. It's just small mistakes, but that will happen in any speedrun. It's very rare that you'll see someone bust a PB out at one of these, just because the way you approach speedrun races is way different to how you approach attempts. It's all a mental thing. You can go into a race with a full send mentality, as some runners do, but you had to be crazy consistent to do that. Another 2-second gap between our two screens for reasons I do not know.
Réveille-toi. Réveille-toi.
I don't think it was though, because I think Song still. Maybe it was. I don't know. Last race, Alpha came out at 105 and Song came at 107, and 107 is what you'd expect for a start of a race. It's just weird that it's happened every race. I guess Song is just starting slightly late. We see our runners grab their Sheikah slates for the last time. 3 no's reset runs in a row is quite tough on runners, but it's a test of the mentality, as all speedruns are. You can keep your nerve, deliver a solid run. Good chance you can win it, because it's when you'll see more mistakes start to creep in, most likely. I see Alpha with the customary 2-second lead going into the Boko camp. Opting for the peppers again by the looks of his line. Gets all 3. Just about grabs the shield. Plays that line very tight. And we've seen a bit of time differential in Temple of Time both runs. We'll see what happens with the runners this time.
Vers le lieu que t'indique la carte de la tablette Sheikah.
Both runs with good clips. Alpha obviously still ahead, hoping he can get a cleaner slide this run. Indeed he does. Last run he did actually save time on a split just because of how good his wild loads were. Song actually getting a wide line, which will lose him a bit of time as well. Because you really have to fight that momentum to get your slide going properly. Mistake again for Alpha. I think he had one of those in the first race, and with that, the runners are neck on neck. That was a really quick clip from Song, actually. But yeah, 2:43 entry is really solid. I don't think either of our runners will be massively unhappy with that, considering they got peppers. We saw both our runners have issues in this shrine as well last run, but we'll see if anyone will ever turn it around. Yeah, exactly. Maybe Alpha was just waiting so they could go in together. I love when that happens, and you will get a few points in these runs where runners just like cross paths. It happens more often than you'd think. Alpha having a bit of issue getting up onto the pedestal there. Song with a good game of Wind Bomb. Alpha also... Oh my god, that was amazing. That was sick. And yeah, both runners getting the clean game of Wind Bomb. Alpha unfortunately having issues with the pedestal means that Song will have a 2-3 second lead. But as we've seen before, this can get completely negated by like anything. But these small things will add up, so Song with a slight advantage. Anything that precise in a run can be considered RNG, but a task could do it consistently. Because there's so many considerations with especially turn wind bombs. There's so many factors, and if one of those is slightly off, the timing of both bombs, how long you spend in bullet time, the exact angle you turn at, these can all slightly affect your game of wind bomb outcome. Anyway, coming up to fish scans. Song again leading by a very minor amount coming out of stasis, but the fish can really make a difference. First scan from Song has nothing of worth. Second scan does have a singular carp, but he will have to scan again. He'll probably take these Hyrule Bass. Gets a carp. He's still down 1 attack value. You'll need to scan one more amiibo. I think. Opts not to. I think this could cause issues later. I think he only has 2 carps. I might be wrong, though. Might be in a third cart, but I thought was a bass. And you can't really realise it at the cooking pot because you can't scan amiibos there. You'd have to go back down to the it's not the armory, but the room where the moblin is. Song's skew is slightly off actually. He's gonna have to reset that. Obviously, jump in the water to do it. Means you don't have to worry about your shield hitting the floor. Opting to save shield durability now. This is the last point, and your shield should take damage in the run though. Yeah, with that we do see Alpha pulling slightly ahead, with just slightly better fish RNG, and not having issues with mag clip. Pulling in the canal. That will close the gap a tiny bit. Still very solid looking timing for leaving Magnesis though. Not if you don't on the snow. Yeah. It will take damage if you don't unequip a shield during the ESC, which you'll see some people will do. But if you unequip a shield after you've pressed the second A press, then you won't take any more shield damage in the run. Yeah, shield making contact on snow or sand doesn't get rid of durability. We do see a pretty sizable lead for Alpha now. I wasn't keeping track of exactly how big it is, but it feels like 20 to 25 seconds. And Alpha has had very good set of slides so far. He's very good at that line. Dodges that rock. That's actually such a good line. Lands a little bit far from a tree, which is not what you're going for if you're doing the strat where you pick up the bomb. I would probably dump it for detonate one if I landed there, but works out. It's only like a tiny difference. Does detonate a little early, but that would just clear it. We see Song also taking a line. He doesn't swing as quite as much as Alpha does, which means he needs to like counter steer a bit here. But that's still like perfectly fine line. Maybe dropping a second to Alpha's. And yeah, we see Song lands a bit further so he can detonate the bomb. It's just preference. Alpha accidentally pressing the L1 button there when he was trying to press the L2 one, I think. Song keeps getting like the all dungeons angle. Like that angle's perfect if you have the tower, because you can just press A on the pedestal railway. Not quite as optimal in any percent, but it's fine. We did see Alpha have issues with the stasis wind bomb this time. He was in the chat earlier, so he might be watching. Oh yeah, true. The new route doesn't. Back when I ran, it did. In which case, the All Shrines plateau. There's no way they're doing towerless All Shrines. But yeah, I'm glad to see Alpha went for the wind bomb there, and he does get his best one of the day, which will put him in a good spot. Most likely for the rest of the plateau. And again, we have seen runners have issues with cryo this race. Or this series, anyway. Song also with a very nice angle. Not tailing by too far. But yeah, Alpha with the definite advantage at the moment, which is really what you need if you're going for the 6 Ancient Arrow route. Doesn't get the arrow again, so opting to go for the pickup strat. Boulder barely moves, but it does move, which is all you need. Not the greatest initial angle as well. Ideally, you want to just literally full send around the corner. Also, contact there will lose him a tiny bit of speed, but to be fair, he does play it very tight, and I don't think that will lose much time at all. Yeah, he was cleared, so we'll see him up to Setsuki there. And he doesn't go for the unequip there, so his shield will take a hit, but his shield was never really in jeopardy at all. Song also getting a very tight line. Gonna push it a little bit to the left, because there are things you can crash into if you go too far right. Gets a nice little boost up the hill as well. Ski spot looks good. He gets a second try. That's all good. Yeah, it's very rare you'll see a runner go for normal clip anymore, just because of how much faster ESC is. You'd have to drop the ESC maybe 6 or 7 times to break even with the normal clip. So it's basically redundant unless you're really inconsistent at ESCs. Which is interesting, because my first tournament 2 years ago, a lot of runners opted to go for the normal clip. ESC was frowned upon. But yeah, the level of speedrunners in this game has insanely increased in the last 2 years. To the point where dropping ESC that much is just very rare. Which, to be fair, is only a 50-50. Yeah, exactly. There's literally no reason not to, as long as you're not scared of, like, the inputs. Can be a bit daunting, but it's a really useful trick to learn. And obviously you need it for the gate backup, so I think it's something all runners should learn early on. Right, I'll try to compare the timers when we get to Glider. But again, it's looking like a 25 to 30 second lead. I'll make speedrunning look easy. It's the runners who are doing that. Wolhaiksong and AlphaTZR. Be sure to check them out. Very high level runners. But yeah, we're watching a race, and they are both performing to a high level. Okay. This is a really fast plat from Alpha, actually. I didn't realize quite how insane that was. That's a 1336. So I'm not far behind. This is still actually like the second fastest plat of the day. I think everything else has been a 14, like 30 or above. And yeah, it's a low 14. 14.05 for the song. So yeah, both these runners having good plats. But Alpha with a lead going into Castle. Who was it who had the fish issues, though? I think it was Song. I'm worried about his fish status. I trust him because obviously he's a good runner, but if I remember correctly, then he might have issues. Yeah, we will see the difference in routes again, meaning that Song should be able to catch up to Alpha a bit. So honestly, barring any mistakes, this run's pretty even right now. I'd give Alpha a slight lead. Ooh, never mind. That's loaded gate, and we don't see him go for the ESE even. He's going to go for the KPM route. With that, that's actually really good for Song. Unless he also gets loaded gate. This is the other way to get into the castle if you don't want to go for the gate ESC. It's slower, obviously, because you're trying to way around here, but it's, like, consistent. Song, I guess he's making up the favor for the loaded gate he got earlier. Our runners are even now. Nice headshot from Song. He needs to get the Claymore loaded quickly. Does get it eventually. And he managed to get a Steep Strike before the World Light as well. I thought that would be really tight, but it does work in his favor. So in my head, Song has 2 carps. Or does he have a carp and a porgy? In my head, he's got 2 carps, which means that the Razor Shroom wouldn't be enough to get him a level 3 attack food. We'll see how this works out. Alpha, I didn't see what fish he got, but he opts to leave the Razor Shroom, so I'm assuming he got a pretty good set. And just like that, perfectly neck and neck. I swear it's always here, runners always sync up. It happens so often. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Alpha, because he was actually on a blistering pace. At least as far as race tournaments go. We will see Song pull ahead here. No, okay, no, Song did have 3 carps, so he's all good. I just didn't see the 3rd one. Yeah, we'll see Song maybe pull ahead here if he can get this scope flip, which he gets 2nd try. With this, we'll see him, I think, 10 to 15 seconds ahead. Of course, you get a slightly slower Phase 1 Calam, but overall, this out of bounds route saves a lot of time. Doesn't get the Manip right, though. Is he going to beat up the Moblin? That is one way of backing this up, because the Beam Ranger ability's very flexible. But with that, our runners are actually pretty neck and neck. Song with a tiny lead, but 6 Ancient Towers can sort of compensate for a bit of that. Actually, no, it's a big lead than I thought. He does go for the slower wind bomb setup though. But a lot of runners are still doing it, just because learning new setups can be a pain, and it's like a 1 to 2 second difference if that. Because a lot of the top runners are now using this setup you see on Alpha's screen right now. It's a quicker point to get to, and it gives you a very consistent angle. Unloaded floor. That's a fun spectacle. You get that sometimes when you get to Sanctum. We do see Alpha going for the traditional demon setup, which is different to the Windblight setup he did for the past 2 runs. I'm surprised, because it's worked perfectly from the first 2 runs, the other setup we've seen him doing. Okay, it looks like both our runners are good for the Windblight skip. And for once, we are neck and neck going into the boss rush. So we have one endgame where the, oh my god, it's fully unloaded floor. That's sick. Probably a little disorientating for Alpha as well, but still. Yeah, every small optimization here will actually make a huge difference. For once, our runners actually need to have good blights to clean up a run. Blights and Ganon, anyway. No obvious mistakes so far. Alpha's first hit misses, but that only loses you half a second. He does seem to be slightly fascinated with the unloaded floor. Gets the weird middle spot for Water Blight as well, you see that sometimes. Song looking good for phase... Oh no, he does drop a hit there, and by the time you take to run to that other spot... What on earth? How do you not get hit there? Yeah, the time it takes to run to that other spot means that you don't... Like, the 3rd hit will happen after he's got up, which means you can't go for that slam. With that, runners are fully synced up again. It is neck and neck. Alpha actually has a slight advantage. I think Song's execution is slightly better in Calam, so we'll see how it ends up happening. To be fair, Alpha's has been pretty solid today as well. This here could be huge. I think both runners have it. Yeah, those are 2 very nice. Fireblight phase 2s. Don't want to get that 2 cycle. Claymore durability should be fine for both runners this run, so we shouldn't see anything fancy. Very nice. In phase 2, the double hits here can make a slight difference, but this is one of the hardest ones to save time in. Poor Alpha man, this is probably like grappled him slightly. But he's played a really good Blights in spite of it. And yeah, these double hits can save a bit of time, and those are actually very good for Alpha. Then again, Songs are as well. Neck and neck going into Kalam. This is like optimal game-free stuff. This is what you want to see right here. There's a slight difference in the routing. Alphas should technically be quicker because of the extra ancient arrows. So honestly, phase 2, if someone gets instant laser, that could win them the race. RNG and execution. If a runner makes a mistake here, then that's basically it. We have seen both runners dying to Lamb today, so they will both be slightly on edge. I really hope they're not watching the race, because if you are, this is going to be like terrifying. Ooh, we see a dropped laser parry. So that, yeah. That might hit Alpha, actually. Still has enough damage for his reflex strat. I don't think he should have gone for it there. He needs to be very careful going to phase 2. Oh, Song's had an issue as well. Kalam going for wall at end of phase 1. That animation plays out, even if he's out of health. But he can now go for wall in phase 2. He won't because he got the instant attack. But that does add that chance of RNG. Alpha waiting. He had issues finishing. He's just a tiny bit of damage shot. Ooh, this is awful. That is not the attack you want to see. You can survive it if you have 2 hearts, but yeah. Unfortunately. Wall laser parry was like, yeah, checkmate for him. Unless you could get that parry, he had to go for it. Because you can dodge it, but you'll take a heart of damage from each laser. And he just didn't have the health for it. Very unfortunate, but game-free nerves can really get to you in these races. And Song's cleaning up now, so I expect we'll see him progressing in the bracket. Very unfortunate, but Alpha put up such a good fight this race. Got unfortunate with the loaded gate, which made it neck on neck. And then, yeah. Couldn't stick the landing on the Calamity. With that, we'll see Song cleaning up. And Alpha has officially forfeited, yeah.
De Ganon s'affaiblit.
Yeah, we see Song cleaning up Dark Beast. This is very unfortunate for Alpha. I feel like meeting Song in round round 4 losers is just mighty unfortunate because of that upset that happened earlier that happened. The pace of his runs would have beaten pretty much everyone else in the top 8 losers squad. But yep, that's what happens sometimes when either people are underseeded or there's an upset early on. You can get these rough matchups earlier than you'd expect. See Song coming up in the second to last hit. This is actually a really fast time as well. Like, this race between both of them was very high level. This was like the fastest by far. see Song bringing it home with a
C'est maintenant, Lee.
26:56 race time. In leaderboard time, that'll be a 25:49. So yeah, very impressive. Both runners. I was worried that we'd see more mistakes, but yeah, GG's to both runners. GG Song, congrats on the win.
Jeez. Thank you.
I've been talking for an hour and a half, man. I'm going insane. But
Yeah, that's pretty odd.
how are you feeling about your runs?
I'm exhausted. I'm just exhausted. I feel
I was
like I was playing well, but I just made some really dumb mistakes here and there.
Yeah, the race 1-1. You played such a clean race, aside from that that BLSS to stasis where you lost so much time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, no, I was feeling really good, but it was just like 20-second mistakes here and there that, were
yeah, exactly.
making me lose my mind.
Overall, put out a good 3 races, and the final race was both of your best race by far. And it was actually, I don't know if either of you was watching the stream, but race 3 was like neck on neck going into Kalam and like all the way through Castle. Unfortunate for Alpha because he had such a good plateau, but the loaded gate meant he had to do Copium route, which
I was a second ahead of PB on plateau.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was insane. The plat. I didn't realize until I looked at the time when Song finished. Like that must have been such a fast plat from Alpha.
Yeah, it was at 13:36.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, GG's Alpha as well.
Yeah, thanks. GG's.
Jeez.
Yeah. How do you feel about your run?
I feel like I played after the first race. I felt like I was playing okay. The 523 bombs was not a good start.
Yeah. That was real unfortunate.
Everything else, like I feel like I played pretty well. Just the last race is, it is the most frustrating.
Yeah.
If I had not dropped a laser parry or not gotten loaded gate, then
yeah.
If both of those things hadn't happened, it would have been a PB. But
yeah,
I wasn't expecting that. Obviously, just
yeah. Like that last race was so fast for both of you. That's something I was going to say, and I forgot that. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I say it's just very unfortunate. Like these were some insane race times. Like you had like a 26 and a 27 from race 1 and 2. It's just unfortunate you had to face Song because I think these are 2 of the fastest runs outside of like the top 4 that we've seen. So yeah, bracket worked against you there, but very solid performances. Yeah, any more comments on your runs you want to make? Or...
I feel like I should talk about the wind blight skip.
Oh yeah, I was interested about that actually.
Yeah, so
setup, did it look consistent?
I've been going for the new one in runs. It's been working pretty well. I was behind in the first couple races, and like for me, it saves a little bit of time. Like I save a couple seconds with it, so I figured I might as well go for it. But in the last one, I just kind of reverted back. I didn't really feel like taking any risks.
Yeah, I was curious if it was because of the unloaded floor. I didn't know if that messed up your visual cues or something.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe if I took a little longer, it would load in, but I don't know how. I guess not.
I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah.
I have no idea. I've only gotten it like once or twice.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so that's Alpha out in 9th. Still a very solid tournament run. And Song progresses to the top 8, where you will face, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Kus, the French runner.
Yeah.
So a very solid runner.
Yeah, I probably have the worst bracket I've ever had by far, but...
I was to say, you've had a horrific bracket. Like, having Roko as your round 2, like, winner-side match is like, brutal. He got second in 2020, wasn't it?
Yeah, second or third, and then, Trevor round 3, Alpha round 4. I mean, I got a 25, and we were neck and neck, so...
yeah, that's insane.
It's just...
I'd watch back race number 3, because I was, like, really close throughout the end. Obviously, you both had issues in race 1 and 2. You both had a Kalam death in your respective races you lost. But yeah, race 3 is like Insane.
I felt like of all the races to win, race 2 was the one that I deserved the least.
Yeah, Song was actually ahead, but he had some serious issues with wind light skip.
Yeah.
I think I remember correctly.
Yeah, I lost like 1.5 million because of wind bombs and wind blades.
Yeah, and then the wind bombs back after that were just horrific. Yeah. That's how it goes in races sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
You just gotta put out the free best you can and hope it's enough to beat your opponent. But yeah, GG's to both of you.
GG's indeed. Congrats, Song, on making it to top 8. Good luck against Baguette. And, no, against Q's, of course. I can't make that joke here.
Yeah, probably not.
There's other communities where that joke is appropriate. It's not appropriate here, so...
Wait, in what community is it appropriate? Kind of curious now.
Random communities are weird. Telling you.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway.
The entire random community calls all their French runners live on stream Baguette.
I see.
So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Shoutouts to you, Lumina. Holy shit. For getting commentary on. And GG's to Alpha as well. Thanks for your tournament run. We're gonna be back with more Breath of the Wild in the next few days. Thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Are we off air?